Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth. And well, I say today. I mean, we've already had one puzzle today. Of course, it's a weekend. The second puzzle for today is Counting Chaos, version 2. Now, I just want to apologize that I posted the puzzle earlier today a little bit late, 15 minutes late, I think, in the end. And, just feeling a little bit under the weather, a bit run down. But also, with Mrs. Sleuth traveling, our dogs here are basically very commanding of my time. So rather than being able to record yesterday, for example, they were demanding that I take them up to bed around 5:30. Given how I was looking this morning, though, maybe that wasn't such a bad call. Certainly feeling a little bit better now to keep going. Now, what I'm going to try and do is make sure that the rest of these puzzles are on time, including tomorrow's. And let's get into today's puzzle. Just very quickly about the thumbnail that we have here. So, when I thought about chaos, I definitely thought about chaotic systems. And what came to mind, somewhat topical, if you've not seen it on Netflix, The Three-Body Problem, where... I'm not sure if it'd be a plot twist if I reveal this. Essentially, it's all about, a planet that's stuck between three different stars. And apparently, you really cannot predict essentially what would happen to that planet and its weather. Essentially, it will be pulled around almost randomly. Say, clearly it's not random between the different star systems. So clearly not random, but very, very hard to predict. Unless, I guess, you have a very perfect model of everything that's going on. Anyhow, hopefully this is not what we have in store with today's puzzle. It is a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle. I admit I'm not entirely sure if it's 2-star on aggregate. There's actually 4 puzzles. So the way I'm sort of planning to do this is I'll solve the first one. If it ends up being extremely quick, I'll probably do another 1 or 2. And if it ends up being like roughly a 20-25 minute solve, I'll call it a day and maybe record the rest for later. Anyhow, enough of an intro, let's take a look at the puzzle and the rule sets. What do we have in store for today? Counting Chaos V2 by GDC. So good to be back solving a puzzle from GDC. Now you may be looking at this and you're thinking, Sleuth, this doesn't even look like Sudoku, and you'd be partially correct. So 6x6 chaos construction. We've visited the chaos rule sets before, where it's up to us to find the regions in this grid. So, construction rules apply. Divide the grid into 6 orthogonally connected regions with 6 cells in each. So essentially there's going to be, I'm going to make this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's going to be 6 regions that we need to identify. They need to include the digits 1 to 6 each. But also, of course, we have to place the digits 1 to 6 once into every row, every column, as well as every chaos region that we're going to identify, of which, of course, there will be 6 of them. What else do we have? Yeah, it is up to the solver to determine where these regions are. Now, no 2 circles may be in the same region. And the digits in a circle indicates how many of the up to 9 surrounding cells are in the same region. I mean, clearly GDC is saying up to 9, because this circle here can have 9 cells, including itself, and it needs to basically identify how many of them are in the same region that this one is. So if this is blue, for example, and these 3 cells are blue, but all of these are some other region, let's call it purple, then this cell here would have to be a 4, because essentially it's highlighting that of the 9 cells surrounding, including itself, this circle, there are 4 that are sharing the same region that it is in. What else do we have? A digit in a square indicates how many of the surrounding cells are in a different region. So let me just carry on coloring here. So let's assume this is a 3rd region. So these squares now, this square in particular, can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells from a different region. So you would have to have a 5 in here. I know, we're in for a tough time, I think, with these rule sets. But I'm sure we're going to be able to overcome this. We've solved the chaos puzzle previously. I think it was from GDC. Was it GDC or was it... No, it was Equality Cages chose Gobbler, maybe with GDC, with Chaos Construction, I don't know. But as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, fingers crossed, wish me luck. Let me restart the clock, see how I get on. So I think the first clue that we have is that all of these circles, of which there are, 6, are all in different regions. So we're going to have to do a bit of coloring. I'm going to go purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. And here is our very first clue. This yellow cell, well, it has to be a region of at least 6. And clearly it's not going to escape through green, and it's not going to escape through orange to make up 6 cells. So at an absolute minimum, all of these cells have to be yellow. Can I do something weird like this? Maybe green can go this way, so potentially. Potentially. Okay. Right. And this cell is clearly not yellow because it's not going to go loop round, isolating the green. So this cell, which can already see, what was it again for circles? A digit in a circle indicates how many of the up to 9 surrounding cells are in the same region. Therefore, this is definitely a 3. These 3 cells are in the same region. Pretty sure that's not yellow, so that's 3. This cell here can only see one cell that is not in the same region as a square, so that's a 1. That can't be the same, so this can't be yellow. You know, if that was, essentially, if this was yellow, this would also be 1 because it can only see one region that is not the same color. So this has to be 2, and this is something other than yellow. We don't know what it is yet, but it's not yellow. I don't know how, I mean, I'm just going to use some other shade for a second. I don't know if it's green, purple, blue, we don't know. We do know, actually, because this has to be yellow. This still needs to be, in fact, all of these now are yellow because we still need 6 yellow cells. And we know that we have to sort of find these 2, because that's not yellow, so these 2 are yellow. Number 6 has to be this one. And these, to complete the region, are 4, 5, 6. Right. There's a very high chance that this is green. I'm going to just add a flash on here, or just forget it. I'm just going to remove it. We know it's not yellow, but we don't know what it is yet. Highly likely it's green. Purple, on the other hand, same challenge that we had with the yellow. All of these cells have to be at least purple. Blue as well has to escape, has to grow. That is at least a blue, which means that is at least a purple. Circles where, if I try and refresh my memory, where how many regions, how many of the surrounding 9 cells, including itself, are of the same region. These are 3. That's 3. This can't be blue. If that is blue, that's 3. That would be 3 in the same row. That would break, and column. So that can't actually be blue. This is some other color once again. And blue needs to continue to make this a 2, and this has to be something else. Probably red, could be green, we don't know. Continuing this column, this needs to be 4, 5, or 6. This is how many of the surrounding cells are on of a different region. Right. We know that this is not yellow. So at an absolute minimum, there are 4 cells that are of a different region. That's an absolute minimum. So that is at least a 4. Presumably I can go all the way up to 5 or 6. Now one of these cells is a 1. Remind me what is green. That can't be a 1. If that's a 1, what that's saying is that there are no green cells around it other than this cell. So this is the only place for a 1. That's another 4, 5, 6. And the minimum I can make it is 4. Essentially, if I make all of these cells green, sorry, the minimum and maximum are 4. I have to have at least a 4 because 3, 2, and 1 are all gone. This has to be at least a 4, and it's a maximum of 4 if I turn all of these green. So that is a 4. Neither of these are 4. Remind me, this is a square. That means that the surrounding cells that are not yellow, they have to add up to 5 or 6. Same with here. So these are 4. Presumably this has to be different. This has to be something other than green so that I can actually get to 5. And it could be blue or it could be red. I'm going to just put a flash of blue and red, which makes this for sure a 5. And therefore this would be a 6 presumably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a 6. These are not 6s. This is not a 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. Therefore this is a 6. Right. This is going reasonably well. Orange clearly can't stop at that single cell, so that was going to continue. It might be, it is actually just here. So this cell, remember, inside the circle is counting how many, including itself, that are orange, that are connected. Well, it's not 1 or 3. The maximum it can be is 3, but it's not. That is a 2, and therefore this is not orange. This is, again, something else. It's a real shame I don't know how to show you what something else is. Maybe I should be using gray or something. Now I'm fairly sure it can't be red, because that would isolate green. Even if I do, so hang on, if I do something like this, yeah, it still won't work because that would be only 5 greens. Highly likely that this is green. Highly likely. Purple, we're not finished with that yet. This blue here means that this is purple. In fact, that is all now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6 cells of purple. And that has to be 3. Just kind of sort of irregular Sudoku, if you think about it. This purple is essentially not in any of these cells, but we need a 3 in this row. It can only be in here. And this cell is again blue or red. Nothing else. Green can't reach it. Orange can't reach it. That is way too long. That is 6 cells plus 3. That's 9. And, you know, that is also equally ridiculous given we've already got 4. Now, it could be blue. Looks pretty good, actually. I think red... What would happen if I go red? Because that's the minimum. Yeah, I couldn't go higher, could I? Red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, that if it is red, it has to be like that. And that feels a bit too tight for blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is only 5 blue. This is blue, which makes all of these blues, which makes this red. This cell here, I think, yeah, too far for orange. That would be 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 8 for green. So this is definitely red. We're done with blue. Chances are good that this is, again, red. If it's green, it'll be 5, 6, 7. Too big for green. If it's orange, we end up with 2 reds that are not connected. So that is a red. So we need 2 more cells for red, we need 2 more cells for green, and we need 3 more cells for orange. We'll figure out all of these in a second. Let's see if we can actually use these colors for a moment, though. Sorry, these squares. So this is telling us how many of the surrounding cells are not green. So ignore all of these. So the absolute maximum would be if all of these are not green, which would make it 5, and it's not available, nor is 4. So it has to be 3, and 3 is in fact the maximum. Because, 4 and 5 are gone, and I have to do a 3 as a minimum. So that is 3, which makes both of these green. That's green done. These are now 1, 2, and 5. That's not a 2. Can I keep this going? I'm sure I could. So these are 4, 5, and 2. Again, not a 2. These are measuring how many of the surrounding cells are of a different region. That is a 6. 1, 2, 3 reds, 4, 5, 6 purple. Then we've got this cell here, which is telling us again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. These 2 cells are 1 and 4, just to complete the region / row. These cells in here, got a 1, 4, 5 triplet. That is a 6. That can't be a 6. I've made a mistake somewhere. That is not a 6. How did I make that 6? These are not 5s. These are 6s. This is 1, 2, 6. 6 is not here. 6 is not in any of these. That is 6. I really can't type today. These are not 6s. This is 1 or 4. It is not a 5. That makes this a 5. These are not 5s. This is 2, 4. 1 and 2 are looking at this cell. That's 4. That's 2. Don't know what these are. Right. This is 3 or 4. That's the maximum it can be, as in all the possible cells that could be around it. It's not a 4, so that is a 3. So this cell can't be red, which makes it orange. Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily directly connected as such, but that makes this red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes this red. That is 6. These are orange. That's all of our chaos regions done. Right, Sudoku. That is a 5. It is just Sudoku to finish. I just need to pay attention. So no 3s, no 3s, no 3. That's a 3. That's 3's done. 5, there is no 5s in this region. No 5 here, no 5 there. That's the only place for a 5. These, 1 in orange, it's not in these two cells. That's the 1, that's 2, that's 1. These are now 4 and 6, I'm going to say. Not resolved yet. This cell here is 4 or 6. It is not a 6. It is a 4. That's a 6. That's a 4. That 4 gives me 1, 4, 1. I need a 2, which is only in here, and I need a 6, and then I'm done. So yeah, 11-minute solve means we're going to keep going and do one more, but it's a lovely puzzle from GDC. And, just hang on tight. Because I can't really even bring up the rule sets, can I? Yeah, so I'm going to do something a little bit weird. Apologies for this. I'm going to go back to Logic Masters Germany. I'm going to put this puzzle up now. This one is odd swoop. I'll copy the rule sets for you in a moment. That's the rule sets. I think that's visible now. Yeah. Let's just bring up the font size for this so you can see it. And then change the title as well. So, next on today's list is Odd Swoop by GDC. Rule sets are normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means place the digits 1 to 6 each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x2 boxes, as you can see defined by the darker lines. Now, a digit in a circle indicates how many of the up to 9 surrounding cells, including itself, are odd. I really don't want to try and explain that rule because I think it will immediately start the solve. So I'll be careful about doing so, but essentially, I'm just going to start the solve. If you want to play along, I'll make sure that the links, the link and the description and the rule sets are down below. I'll give you 5 seconds to look away now if you don't want any spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 3. And the reason I was so confident that this is a 3 is it can see, we've got the digits 1 through to 6 in here. And we know from the digits 1 through to 6 that 1, 3, and 5 are definitely odd numbers. So this circle can see 3 odd digits. Now, what I'm going to do, given this is very much about parity today, is I'm going to use orange for odd, and then blue for even, and then we're going to see where it takes us from there. Right. None of these circles could possibly be a 6. Best case scenario that this can also see another 3 odd digits. Again, even if these are odds, that would be 1, 2 plus another 3, that would be 5. 3 odd digits in here plus 3 odd, that could be 6. I take it all back. Right, let's think about this a bit more systematically, excuse me. So one thing we know is that this cell here, because it can't see odd digits outside the box, it's limited to 1 to 3. 1, 2, or 3. It's clearly not a 3. Now, if it's a 2, what it's implying is that itself is not odd, but one of these is odd. That feels very likely. And if I put a 1 in here, that actually breaks, because one of these is saying essentially that itself plus the 3 are 2 digits, but somehow I'm only counting 1. So this is definitely 2, which means one of these cells includes an odd digit, and then one of these cells includes an odd digit. Which odd digit is it? Can this be... Yeah, whichever one it is, it's got to be the 5. Because essentially I have the same challenge. I am going to put in something in here knowing it's incorrect. I'll put a 1, because we've got essentially something that says I can see 2 odd digits, but somehow I'm only seeing 1. So that is clearly not going to be the case. So 5 is in here, 1 is in there. 1 can't possibly be in this cell, because again, that would be seeing 1 and 2. That is 1. And this is 4, 5, 6. Now, one of these is the 5, because it needs to satisfy this 2. And if this is I'm pretty sure this can't be a 6, because if that's 6, that would mean I'm seeing 6 odd digits, and the maximum it can see is... So this is not a 6. This cell here could be a 6. We've already... Let me just double check. So it could see 1, 2, plus the 5, call it 3, then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can have 6 in one of these two cells. This cell in here, so these are 4, 5, 6. This cell in here, it's seeing 1 odd digit, and then maximum of another 3 in here. That is a 4. These are not 4s. I meant to say not 4s. Now it needs to see 3 more odd digits, so that gives me 5. And then 1 and 3 in here. That makes this a 6. That makes this a 2. These are my 2 odd digits. These are even. These are all even. This is therefore a 4 because it's even. These are 1, 3, 5 and odd. Right, picking up a bit of pace now as I get comfortable with this. This is 2 or 6, not worth it. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, really not sure about which one it is. Let's think about this one. If this is a 5, it's seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. That is not a 5, that is a 4. This is therefore 6, and this is therefore 5. Right, that's better. These are evens. 4 odd digits makes these all odd. That makes this a 1, because that's the only one that's left. These are now all even. This is 5 or 6. Sorry, 3 or 5, excuse me. We've already got the 1 in here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means one of these is odd and one of these is even, which is correct, given I've already placed 2 of each. And I actually don't know which it is. So I guess that circle is what's meant to help us next. So it's a minimum of 2. Hang on, no, it's more than 2, because there's a third one in this box that you can see. So it's not 2. This is 4 or 6. Now, if it's 4, I've got 1, 2, and a 3, plus a 4 in one of these 2 cells. In fact, it is a 4, because 6 would mean 1, 2, 3 in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need a 6, which is not reachable. That's a 4. These are 2, 6, which means, again, one of these 2 is odd. 4 is in here. Just Sudoku. May as well do some. This is another 4, which means that these 2 are odd, because essentially I've got 4 and 2, 6 all seeing these cells. So these 2 are odd. That makes this even. That's a 6. And then I need a 1, which can only be in here. And this is 3 or 5. And this is 1, 3, or 5, not 2. No 2. And this is 1 or 3, not 1 or 3. 3 or 5 with a 4, which makes this 2 with a 3, 5 with a definite 2. I'm clearly missing something to allow me to make some progress here. That 2, yeah, C's 2 already. What's going on, Sleuth? What am I missing? One, two, three. So the fourth odd digit is in here. It's in one of these two cells because I've got 3 or 5. That is not odd, which makes this a 4. That is a 4. That's the fog fully revealed now. These are now even. This is not a 4. This is odd. We'll figure out what this is in a second. Well, you can see at least one odd digit. That can't be a 1. There is another odd digit between here. So it's a minimum of 2. So I can put a 2 in here. In fact, it is even. And my options are 2 or 6. And it is 2. Therefore, this is 6. This is 2. This is odd. You can see 1, 2, 3. Can't see 5. That's 3. This is not 3. This is another 1, 5. That's a 6. Right, we're pretty sure we're going to get it from here. This is odd. I've got 3 odds in the column. This is even. Got 3 odds in the box. These are odd. This is even. I've got 3 odds. This is even, and this is odd. Right, we can just probably write them in now. 2, not 2. That 5 gives me a 1, 5, 1. This is 3 or 5 again. In fact, both of these are 3 5s. That's 3, that's 1. How am I determining what these are? Oh yeah, that 3 here gives me 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 2, and if I've not made any mistakes, 6 for the finish. Another lovely puzzle, GDC. So in aggregate, that's 21 minutes solve. That's probably decent enough for, a Sunday evening set of puzzles. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. A bit unplanned in the sense that I needed to do more puzzles. I guess that this group, that the 4 puzzles on aggregate is what counted towards 2-star difficulty rating. So I will certainly take a look at the other 2. Maybe they are easy enough to be featured during the weekday. If not, you will see them next weekend. That's the only thing. That's enough for me now. Hope that you enjoyed it, both the video and the puzzles. And I'll see you soon for the next one. Bye-bye for now.